Let's go to our design and take a look at this and try to interpret what should be going on here. So I think like the hero sections below it, the intention is for these sections to only get this wide. So we decided that was going to be the 960 pixels. And then if the browser gets bigger, it will spread out to either side of that width equally, centering the content. Now as it gets smaller, up until maybe around this point here, I'm just going to draw a box with the marquee tool. Then I think what should be happening is that these two items should hug to the right, and these two items over here should hug to the left, and the space in between them should start collapsing. Once that space disappears, then we're going to need a breakpoint in order to change the layout. Now, headers tend to be kind of complex when it comes to figuring out what to do with the responsiveness. You've probably seen many sites that use the convention of a 3-rowed icon in order to replace the menu. Clicking that stacked icon would then reveal the navigation. However, we have some pretty simple navigation here, and it might make sense to just stick with the strategy that we used in the footer and collapse everything to a single column. Now we'd need a little bit more information from the designer before we decided to hide any of these elements away in responsive menu icons, or just hide them away altogether as the browser got smaller. For example, intuitively it feels like maybe we could drop this phone number here. We have the phone number in the footer, and there's plenty of calls to action as we go through the page. So I would think that this would probably be something that we could let go of, but we'll keep it for now and drop it later if we get the okay from the designer. Now we could play with the width of these items here. Specifically, we could drop the word account and just stick with the account icon. The account icon tends to say enough for mobile users to know that they can click that to go to their profile or account page. Now, the order that we want these to display in once it collapses is also important. It will dictate to some degree how we structure the HTML. So what I would envision, ultimately, is that first we'd have the logo. The logo would probably stretch across the page at a certain point and get smaller as the browser gets smaller. Then it seems like the account link and the site search should go below the logo, centered on the screen. Below that would be the navigation, again centered, and then below that, the phone number. Now, the order of these items can sometimes get tricky depending on what the design requirements are. We're in a situation right now where we're coming up with the mobile version, but if you have a design that dictates something specific for the mobile or tablet versions, then you may have to get more creative with the way that things collapse as the browser gets smaller. For example, if it was a requirement to have this account and search link go below all of the other items on the header, so maybe company, menu, phone number, and then search, we'd have to find some other approach than just natural collapsing in order to move this below those other items. We might do something with JavaScript that would hide this content and add it below. We might create duplicate versions of this and just use CSS to display or hide the version that was below everything and the version that was above everything, depending on the size of the viewport. But again, in our situation, we're kind of lucky and we get to dictate how this is going to work, at least until we get input from the designer.